So that can only mean we've got one guest. And that can only mean that guest is Misha Collins. Every little piece.
Sorry, I'm messing up your hair.
That's okay.
I know how much time you spend.
It looks real, right?
Quaffing.
It looks real.
It does. Well, actually, it's.
It's out up here. Okay. Oh, straight. Rich makes the joke about my hairpiece so much that I really think people might think that I really have a hairpiece. I think there's a swath of people that don't know.
Right. Even now, you talking about it is making people wonder.
Well, maybe he is.
I did notice he has a funny hairline. Where is Rich?
I have no idea.
You know, he used to come on. He used to like.
No, he would host.
He used to co-host.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that technically they have hired him to host.
To host. That's the only thing he does. He doesn't play an instrument, so he.
Right. So he's. But he doesn't. What is that phrase? Give a fuck. That's what it is.
I was thinking freeloader, phone it in. I can't, anyway. But nevertheless, one thing stays the same. You're Misha Collins.
And you're Rob. Oh, the band is already left. They're out of here. Getting us out of here. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm stalking you on stage. Like one of those caged predators at the zoo, just pacing back and forth. Hi. So there's so many people here at the Vancouver convention this year, and I'm wondering what that's all about. I have a feeling that there's a fair amount of people here that are international, not from Canada, who flew into Canada. Because you no longer feel safe flying into the U.S. And I have a feeling there's a fair amount of Canadians here who are like, who on a normal year might have gone to the U.S. for a convention, but they're like, nah, I think I'll just stay in Canada. I don't have that privilege because I only hold a U.S. passport, so I have to, unfortunately, you do too? Oh, I'm so sorry. Ironically, this little series of jokes is going to wind up getting me deported from my own country. Oh, thank you. Well, it's nice to see you. It's nice to be back in Vancouver. I have such a warm feeling coming back here. I spent so many years jogging along the seawall here. And I know, seawalls. I love applause for seawalls. Both of my biological children were born here. Which is kind of amazing. They were born in condo apartments here, because you guys have this amazing medical system which doesn't service Americans. So we weren't allowed to use like the birthing centers here. So we actually, yeah. So one of the kids was born under a bush in Stanley Park. Yeah, it was amazing, and you can kind of tell still. I used to have my kids come up on stage with me every once in a while. don't want to do that anymore. But my partner and her kids are here in the audience. I don't know if any of them want to come up on stage. Any of you kids want to come up on stage? Say hi. I'm seeing some heads shaking. My son is here, and I know that he is currently hating me for my childhood. He's old now, and he's better than me at everything. And it's just, yeah, but it shouldn't have happened this soon. You know? I thought I had a few more years. It just means he's really smart. That doesn't help either. I want to be the smarter one. He's beat me. He beat me in arm wrestling, and he beats me at geography, and he beat me playing chess blindfolded. He was blindfolded and I wasn't. It's mortifying. You can be, well, you have something that you can win. I don't have that. Yeah. I remember that they all just went rock climbing, and I'm just going to reflect on this fond memory I had. He was quite young. I think he was probably only like 9 or something, and we were in Bellingham, Washington, at the YMCA, which had the second tallest climbing wall in Washington. It was quite a tall climbing wall, and they had it set up so you could do 2 parallel climbs at once. And he was climbing at one spot, I was climbing in the other spot, and we got up about 10 feet before I started just shaking. I was like, oh my God, that was fucking terrifying. And also it was really hard, and he just started scrambling up ahead of me, and he did take a moment to look down at me and let me know, hey Dad, I'm going to beat you at everything. Do you guys have any questions that you want to ask me? Anything you want to talk about? Hi. What do you want to talk about? There's somebody who's pointing at someone, but nobody is actually taking initiative. Is there a person who wants to speak to a microphone? Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
It's going well. How's it going for you?
Good. I get picked to ask a question, so I'm a little blank here.
You know, I can't really hear you very well. Can you hear yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Can you? It's like we're in a Verizon commercial. Can you put your mouth closer to the? If I had a nickel. Can you just tip the microphone up a little bit? There you go. And not that much. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. So I did not come prepared, so apologies in advance.
Okay.
But if you and Jensen were to swap personalities for a day, what's something specific you would do as Jensen?
What did she say? Oh, if we were to switch personalities for a day, what would I do? As Jensen? Work. Thank you. Hi there.
Hello, my name is Avery.
Hi, Avery.
I just wanted to first of all thank you for playing such an iconic queer character and never, always upholding that and fighting for it and never dismissing it or saying that this character wasn't queer. So my question is, as someone who's queer and trans myself, what has playing Castiel, especially, unfortunately, I do live in the US. So what has that taught you about the importance of authentic and fighting for queer representation in media?
What has it taught me? I guess that it can be significant to a lot of people. I think that I learned a lot of things along the way with that character and that role. One of them was I think there was a good length of time when I think all of us who were involved with the show thought like, oh, I don't know, maybe Cass is a little bit gay, but we never really went there with it for a long time on the show, and it was partly because I just made these, and I think I was emblematic of the other people on the show in thinking this. I thought, like, we would never actually go there with this character on this show, which is like a very macho, straight-seeming show. And that was a hilarious, for those in the back, when I said a straight-seeming show, someone in the front laughed, like, but I really thought that we would never go there, but what that actually tells me is that there are all kinds of prejudices that are quietly operating in normal, everyday life and also in the machine of pop culture generation. And I didn't think that we had license to do that. And when we actually took the leap and made Cass gay, I guess what I'm trying to point at is the interesting thing to me in reflection is that it shouldn't have seemed like a big deal, but it felt like one. And that tells me that we have a long ways to go. Thank you. Hi.
So the impact of Supernatural obviously cannot be overstated. But my question is, in what ways do you think that fans positively impacted the show specifically? And if you're feeling brave, perhaps negatively impacted the show?
Well, let's start with the second one because it's much easier. I think it's an interesting thing because Supernatural came of age, as it were, right as social media was starting to become a thing. And social media was even finding its footing in the early years of Supernatural. There was things like LiveJournal and other things that don't even exist anymore, where people were, what? MySpace? Was it on MySpace? No. But it was in that the early phase of the internet when it was the first time that it was really easy for the fans and the creators of the show to actually have any semblance of communication with one another, or even for the creators of the show to get any direct feedback, you know? I mean, the only real feedback that there used to be was like Nielsen ratings, like, yeah, people are watching the show. But we were able to get like story point feedback. So when I first got on the show, one of the things that I was looking for when I was like, I would go online and see like, do they hate me? Do they hate my character? Because if they do, I probably won't come back. And I think that was early enough in social media when that was like a new thing, you know, where you felt like actually the fans' appetite for something on the show actually did help dictate what happened. And I think that the fans, if you'll pardon the expression, fanned the flames of the Dean and Cass relationship. Early on, I don't think Jensen and I saw any of that. Like, we weren't thinking about that. But the fans created this narrative that then got kind of elliptically referenced in the show because the writers were talking about what the fans were talking about. So there was that like interplay. And I think the fans at times were a bit of a mafia. You know, they can really come after you, and you have to parse your words carefully. That's why when I'm on stage, I very carefully choose my words. Because if I don't, I will be out. So yeah, it's been an interesting interplay, to say the least. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Dimitri.
Hi, Dimitri. I like that name.
I know, there's an extra I in there, but I think it's better. So.
Whoa. Hands is fighting words.
You know David Lynch, right?
I do.
Okay, so, yeah, you know he did. My question is, he said.
What other sad things are you gonna tell us? Are you just gonna get up here and list dead people? Martin Luther King, also dead.
My question is, he said before that Twin Peaks has came to him in his dreams, and that's when he, made it. And if something comes to you in your dreams or in your thoughts constantly, that you should pursue it. And have you had something in your dreams?
Have I had something in my dreams?
That you pursue,
Of
like
course.
a project that you
Of
pursue.
course, all the time.
And what
My dream told me that my newly acquired turtle's name was Drydraluxlalau. And so I named the turtle Drydraluxlalau. And I just had a dream this week. My dreams speak to me all the time and tell me. I will constantly call Emily and be like, I think I figured something out in a dream last night. But I had an experience 2 nights ago where I dreamt that my friend had made salmon with applesauce on the top. And we ate it and it was like, my God, this is delicious. Why have we never thought of this before? So then I made dinner for a couple of people the next night with applesauce on salmon, and there is a reason that we don't do it. Thank you. Hi,
Hi, Misha.
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. My question is, apart from your appearance coming up from The Voice, have you got any other projects in the works?
Are you trying to compare me to Jensen?
No, I just want to see more of you on screen, so I want to know if you're doing your
Well, luckily there is a remedy for that, I'm happy to report. It is called reruns.
Many crack calls and nights every time I come this side of the border because they won't show it in England. So I have to
They won't show Gotham Knights in England because it's too controversial.
I don't know why they won't show it. Every time I'm in North America, I hack Amazon and I only watch it.
Really? Maybe it's because it was so wildly unpopular that you can't get it over there. You liked it? I'm working on a couple of projects that I'm hoping will have a life soon, but it's not politics, no. But that would be fun too. I don't know. I think we have a pretty good leadership now. I don't think. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Deborah, and my question is, if you could go anywhere, real or fictional, where would it be?
Oh, definitely fictional. Where would you go?
Probably Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. That's actually a place?
No, it's fictional.
Oh, okay. There are a lot of places on this planet that I would really like to go. I don't have a real yearning to go like to Mars or anything like that. I'm always surprised that people, they had that program in Europe where they were collecting applications for people to go on a one-way trip to Mars. They got like hundreds of thousands of applicants. Who the fuck are those people? How, in God's name, would anyone want to do that? You must really not get along with your family to fill out that application. Kyrgyzstan. That's my answer. Yeah, I hear it's a lot like Hogwarts. Hi.
Hi, my name's Diane.
Okay.
I grew up in Bellingham.
Oh, really? I love Bellingham.
Nice. And my question is
What was it like in Bellingham as a child?
almost idyllic, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And I was wondering if you had a favorite area in Bellingham that you like to hang out
I really like Galbraith Mountain for mountain biking, but I also like the waterfront, and I like Old Town Cafe and Fairhaven. Yes. Yeah. What about you?
Fairhaven's one of my favorite districts to, go wander around, and I really loved going through Welcome Falls Park.
Oh, Welcome Falls Park is pretty great. Yeah, I like that too. There's what's that discount food place? Grocery outlet. Is that what it's called? They have some real bargains there. I like that place. No. Well, thank you for asking that question. It's nice to meet a fellow Bellinghammer. Hi.
Hi, my name is Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi. My question for you is, how did you prepare yourself to stop playing Cass after so many years in the character? Like to say goodbye?
Well, to be honest with you, I think I had to give myself a little bit of an off-ramp because it was gonna be too abrupt. It's sort of like when an addict stops taking a drug, you don't go cold turkey, but you have to taper off. So, as you know. So what I did was I knew that the filming was gonna stop. I knew specifically when we were filming the last scene, but I didn't want to, have that abrupt ending. So what I did is I just budgeted time in my daily calendar to put on the trench coat at home and talk in the cast voice. And I thought I would wean myself off, over the period of a couple of months. Unfortunately, again, with these things, it was a little bit of a slippery slope. And now, basically, as soon as I get home, I just put the trench coat on and slip back into character. No, I don't have a trench coat, so I can't do it. That would be disingenuous. Thank you for asking that question.
I was always curious. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that I could be helpful. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm good. My name's Alessandra from Brooklyn, New York.
Hi, Alessandra from Brooklyn.
My question is, who was your celebrity crush growing up?
Ooh. My celebrity crush. Did I have one? I don't know. I fetishized Michael Jackson. And when I was 9, I had one sequins glove. And then when I got a little older, I listened to National Public Radio, and I got obsessed with all of these personalities on National Public Radio, which is not nerdy. No matter, it's not. It's very normal. I don't know. I can't think of one. I recently found out that Emily, that she doesn't like me talking about this. Had a crush on William Shatner. I mean, Captain Kirk, not William Shatner, because I think she was young enough to think that it was just Captain Kirk. But who can say no? I don't know. Not Emily. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, honey. I saw her leaning over and whispering something to West just now, and I was just imagining in my head that it was, I know, I hate him too.
Hi, I'm Anna. And what is your go-to song when you just need energy or you just want to dance crazy?
Oh God. I don't have one. I do have some songs that like kick me into gear, but I don't have like one song that I play over and over again. Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
500 miles, you know, the I would walk 500.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. The kids used to play Katy Perry Fireworks over and over again. But weirdly, that ended up becoming, at first I was kind of into it with them, like we would, sing and like, and then it became like a kind of a trauma trigger. And I couldn't hear that song anymore. So I do go through cycles like that too. Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Hello, my name is Victoria, and my question is, I know that you are a published cookbook author. Have you ever considered writing, a screenplay or a fictional novel, and what genre that might be?
I have, and I have. I have been working on a screenplay with a few writer friends for the last year or so, and I'm also working on a novel with a friend. And the genre of the screenplay is sort of like a political drama, and the genre of the novel is like a dystopian near future AI apocalypse scenario, which is actually just a forecast.
Light reading as well.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
I'm Misha. So the last time I asked you a question, you wound up flipping me off at the end. So
I am so offended that you would ask me something that would prompt that.
So I'm gonna go lighter this time.
Okay.
This has been my year of international con. I saw you in Germany. I'm here in Vancouver. Where's one place you want to travel to that you haven't yet?
Hogwarts. Kyrgyzstan? I feel like we've been down this road. Where have you been this year?
So Germany, then I went to Amsterdam and London.
Oh my goodness. Have you been to conventions at all of those places?
No, Germany was the first time I've ever been there.
Okay.
Like Amsterdam, London.
How long are you here in Vancouver for?
Till Monday,
And when did you get here?
Wednesday,
So you're a little bit jet lagged? No. Where are you coming from?
Connecticut.
Oh, that's fine. That's not so far away. I really want to spend more time at home with the whole pod of children. We have a blended family now, so we have 5 kids, and it's very much fun when we're all together, but we're not all together enough. So that's where I want to travel to. Hi.
Hi, my name is Natasha,
Hi, Natasha.
and my question is, what's the most chaotic thing that happened with the cast on set and then with cast members off set?
Jared and Jensen and I used to be, most chaotic thing. I did this mockumentary, it was a behind the scenes look at Supernatural, which miraculously Warner Brothers actually put on the DVD that season, and it was a behind the scenes look at Supernatural where we were all poking fun at ourselves. But Jared, it was very difficult to film because Warner Brothers was like, you know what, we love this idea, go for it, and you can use the crew and the cast to film it, during breaks. There are no breaks. And so every time I wanted to film a scene, I had to get everybody to be like if they did have 5 minutes off, they wanted their 5 minutes. Nobody wanted to go shoot my stupid mockumentary. So corralling the crew to participate in things was very challenging. And we had this one scene that was like, it was crucial to my mockumentary, which was the stage has blown up, everything has gone to hell. Jared, who doesn't actually have long flowing hair, he has a wig, and he's been hiding his baldness all along. His wig catches on fire, and the Impala is destroyed, and it was like this, the big sort of climax scene, and all of the crew runs out of the burning stages together. And it was something, it was a thing that I had precipitated in the mockumentary. And getting the crew to participate in that, and getting Jared like tamping out the fire on his head and all that, was absolute mayhem, and I thought it was gonna kill me because it was like, everybody had to be like all animated and all the crew had to be acting and nobody wanted to be there. It's really hard. So that was a chaotic moment on set. And then off set, Jared and Jensen and I, we used to be immature. And we had this one night where we were in Jensen's hotel room and we decided to engage in a wrestling match. But it was like we had been working together for some years at that point, and I think there must have been some pent up frustrations that we hadn't yet expressed in words, because we actually tried to kill each other. And at one point, Jared had me pinned, and he hyperextended my elbow, and it ended up like being quite painful for about 6 months after that. But this was on a weekend. It was on a weekend of a convention, and we got back to the trailer on Monday, and we were in the hair and makeup trailer Monday morning, getting all getting our hair fixed and like trim our beards or whatever. And I look over at Jared and I'm like, Jared, what the hell happened to you? He had this like road rash all over his face and bruises on his face. And I was like, dude, what happened to you? He was like, Misha, you.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and I always thought it'd be fun if they did a Bigfoot comedic episode. I was wondering, what do you think? Like, would they kill it? Would they leave it? I always thought that Cass and Bigfoot would be like kindred spirits.
You know what though? Honestly, I always wondered if they were gonna have some reveal at some point on the show that Sam was actually a Bigfoot that had just shaved his body hair. Because that would have been believable, right? Why didn't we do that? It's so obvious. I remember it was fairly early in filming Supernatural. We had the scene. It was in one of those many hotel rooms that we had, and Sam was blocking the door, and Cass is trying to go to leave, and Sam's there, and I walked sort of right up to him, and I couldn't shoot it because I kept laughing because he also had boots on, which is just ridiculous. And I had like my little Cass shoes on, so I looked even more elfish next to him. And I would come up to him and my head was sort of like mid-sternum, it seemed like. And I just kept laughing. And everybody was like, Misha, what is it? And I was like, he's just so ridiculously tall. Anyway, there it is. That's what I think we should do with the Bigfoot storyline when we reboot Supernatural. Which is happening, by the way, in my imagination. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How
My
are you?
name is Lisa Marie. I'm here from Washington, D.C.
Oh my goodness.
I know you famously spent some time there, and I was wondering if during your experience as an intern, what you experienced that Castiel would have found like just the most baffling.
Oh my goodness. What do you do in DC?
I work for the federal government.
Doesn't everybody in DC?
Yes.
In what capacity?
I'm sorry?
What do you do? What's your job? Is it a secret? If you say you work for you can't say so you're CIA, FBI, NSA, something
I'm
like
a
that.
creative director.
Okay. I did have a lot of friends in DC who I had no idea what they did for a living, which was really something. Maybe they were unemployed. That would have been a good strategy. I think that there was a lot more of what I would characterize as corruption going on than and I was a lowly intern, right? So I wasn't seeing, the higher echelons of this. But my perception was there was a lot of favoritism and, people, a quid pro quo here and there, and not, it wasn't the meritocracy that I had imagined it might be, which was somewhat surprising. And I think that Castiel would probably not be surprised by that, because it seems like that's the way the machinery of heaven worked. What would you be surprised by? The lax security thing? They had these little badges in the White House that, this was like the 90s, and the security was, they had these little badges, so you had this like laminated lanyard that showed, it was sort of like a gold pass at a supernatural convention. It's kind of like that, but a little smaller. That you hung around your neck. You go through security, you show your ID, then you get your lanyard, and then you would go like walk around in the halls and the offices and do your work for the day. And then when you left, you just take your lanyard off and put it in the dish with other lanyards. And when you left for lunch, you had to leave your lanyard behind and get a new one when you came back. So every day when I went to lunch, I would put my lanyard in the little bin, but I'd actually palm it, and I put it in my pocket. And then I do the same when I left again later. So I got 2 lanyards a day when I was at the White House. And then I made a mobile in my room of all of these White House lanyards. And I had a friend over. This was like a year later. I had a friend over, and he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, those are like little security badges that you get at the White House." And he was like, "Oh my God, dude, are you allowed to have those?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he flipped one over, and it said, 10,000. It's a felony to possess this. Felony to possess this badge off White House grounds, punishable by 1 year in prison or $10,000 fine. I think Castiel would be surprised to find that mobile. I can talk about it openly now because it was more than 7 years ago. We have a statute of limitations, so it's fine. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Misha. I'm Karen. I'm from Maryland. I'd be happy to know they still use the lanyards.
They do? Oh my God. Great, then I can go to the White House anytime I want.
My question for you is, now that your children are getting older, what is one part of your relationship with them that you hope never changes? And what's the one thing that you've learned in your career that you hope to instill in them about working hard?
Well, one thing in the relationship that I hope never changes. Well, there's so many things in the relationships with the kids that I hope that they're listening right now. So this is very awkward. I hope that they always defer to everything I say. I hope that they always continue to know that I'm always right. I still sometimes get the feeling that they want to hang out with me, and I know that they're rolling their eyes right now, shaking their heads, saying that's not true. But I love that, and I hope that that continues. And what was the other thing? Something about hard work. Yeah, West recently said to me, "Dad, what do you even do?" You have like the easiest job in the world. And then I had to tell him that I work very hard. I think maybe I would like to, I hope that the kids grow up thinking that if they pursue things that they're really interested in and that they really love, that they will be more successful in life and they will be happier more whole people. Sorry. Hey, Dad.
Yes, hello there.
Hi. Hey, I have a question for you. Is there something that you? Is there something that you? I'm on stage right now. There are about 1,500 people listening to you.
Oh, okay. Glad to hear that.
What is something that you tried to pass on to me and your other children about how they should work in the world? Is that a fair part? Yeah. Did you think about that, like passing on to the kids an ethos of a work ethic? I mean, you taught me like how to work with my hands and to build things, and you worked hard and sort of set that example. Is this something that you thought about consciously? This is a question that I just got, and I'm deflecting by asking you.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah. I have to move out of a populated area here just a moment. I think so. And other than that, I think there was at least some attempt to encourage working for a more equal and fair world by example, in a way, of things that I was interested in or like to work on. But that's probably, I guess, more a little later in life, in your life.
Well, Dad, I think that you succeeded in passing that on. I'm in Vancouver at the moment. Well, I should probably call you back. Because, yeah, all right.
I've got time on stage. Okay.
I'm gonna go just to check in with the kids, because I feel like I've been ignoring them. Hi. How's it going? What was this sort of what you were expecting here? Were you expecting it to be worse or better? Any other feedback for me? And do you want to hear your voice in the microphone? Ellen?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you got roasted pretty bad by Addie.
I did roast me pretty bad. Nice work, Addie. All right, well. Okay. I don't know if you can be disowned in reverse, but I think that might have just happened. Well, thank you guys for allowing this to be a family event. You have a question.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Beth. I'm actually asking this on behalf of my mom who had to go upstairs because she's
Wonderful. See, I'm not the only one that does this. Where is your mom?
She's upstairs in the room. She's
I see. She didn't want to leave her.
We've been following you pretty closely
When you say micro politics, what do you have in mind? City politics, okay. Not like a commune. Okay. I have not been thinking about micropolitics per se. I have to admit there are times, like I look at our president, who, while obviously a great leader and a very wise man, the nice thing about Trump that I think like gives me a little bit of hope for the future is that he is systematically, well, yes, he's old, and that is a perk, but he's systematically dismantling American democracy, which then opens up, for those of us who like to think big, the possibility of being a future king. And I think that could be an amazing opportunity, you know. So that's more macro politics. Being sort of more in the vein of the emperor or something like that sounds pretty great. Yeah. But yeah, I think that I'm interested in talking more. Right now, I'm more interested in talking about politics and political movements and the ideas that are the backbone, the scaffolding and the skeleton of politics. I think we've gotten into this really destructive mode, particularly in American politics, but it's happening all over the world, where everything is polarized into these extremes, and people are blindly following one team or the other, and it's no longer about trying to figure out actually how to make a better civilization. It's just this us and them dichotomy, and I feel like, and this is something that Emily and I talk about quite a bit, but I feel like we have lost the appetite for actually talking about how to make society better. We are now either on the offensive or we're on the defensive. We're not on the constructive, imaginative, iterative spectrum anymore. We're not trying to solve problems, we're trying to beat the opposition. And that's not productive, and it's also not interesting. It's like we're trapped in this cycle. And I'm interested in having the conversations that slowly help migrate us out of that vortex, personally.
I'm Elise, I'm from Australia, and first of all, I want to just thank you for coming over to Australia every now and again. I really do appreciate that. It's great to see you there.
It's always appealing to leave the States.
You're always welcome. My question is, over the course of your career so far, you've worked with loads of different people. How do you manage working with challenging people?
You mean Jared and Jensen? Are you dealing with challenging people in your life right now? It sounds like a question that's coming from someone who's like, if I have to face him in the office one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's an interesting thing, but it's a question that I actually have wrestled with, and I have worked with some challenging people, and I find that it is most useful not to take things personally. And when I am successful in that, it seems easier to handle difficult people because their psychological trauma, their issues, that's not my problem, and they can try to throw it at me, but I don't have to take it. I don't, of course, always remember that framework. Sometimes frequently I get very upset. and lose sleep over difficult people. But there are, I think that not taking it personally is really good advice that I sometimes take myself.
That's good advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
My name is Sam. I'm from Renton, Washington.
Yeah.
So I'm a big foodie. I love to cook. I love to eat and try new foods. Jimmy Novak's comfort food is red meat. So what is your comfort food?
Really cheap Chinese food. And not like good Chinese food. Cheap, like $3 buffet Chinese food.
Something like you find in International District in Seattle.
No, something that you find in a strip mall next to a 7-Eleven. Like, really not good food, like orange chicken. It's like when I feel sad and it's raining and I just want to watch TV and eat cheap, deep fried Chinese food. That's my comfort food.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Misha. I'm Rachel from the UK.
My goodness, it's such an international. It's also everybody is from the Commonwealth.
Hi. I like to get ready thoughtful gifts for my friends and family.
Oh, well, thank you. In advance. I'm so excited. What do you have?
I have chocolate. I have UK chocolate.
You do? Is it like melted in your pocket?
No, it's not.
Okay. That sounds lovely. Thank you. Yes.
Give gifts. Some people like to receive them. So my question is, do you prefer to give or receive gifts?
Thank you for that qualifier at the end of that sentence.
With that, what's the most special or thoughtful gift you've given or received from someone special to you?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I really, the answer is I like to give the most. I like it when I have the time to make something that's thoughtful for somebody and then give it to them and they can see that there's a lot of time and effort went into the thing. That's my favorite. I also like to surprise people where they don't see that thing coming. I don't know if I'm going to recover. I'm also, of course, like deeply touched when I receive something that's really nice, but it's that. I can't do this. Next question.
What is something you accomplished in 2026 that you're most proud of?
Wait, whoa. Hold the phone. That I plan to accomplish? Okay, but I have to break something down for you. Have you recently had a head trauma? Because you did? Okay, sorry, well, this is great, now I'm an asshole. It's 2025. Yeah. And I asked the head trauma question because I had a head trauma, and the first thing the paramedics asked me was, do you know what year it is? And I did not know, and that's when I knew something was wrong. So, in 2026, I am most proud. Right. That's right. That's when I'm most proud of taking the throne. Yes. I don't have about something. I have a fairly overblown ego. I'm just trying to think of what it is. You know, I don't have a great answer for you, but it has been I turned 51 not too long ago, and yes, I'm still totally erect, I'm proud of the fact that I keep doing new things at this advanced age, and trying new things, and pushing, and I have not been stuck in a routine. I wrote and have been performing a one-man show, which was a very new thing and somewhat scary for me at the outset, and I'm working on writing a book, and I have a lot of other creative projects that I'm undertaking, and being of a mode to explore and try new things, and continuing to change and grow in my 50s feels like something to be that I'm personally proud of. Like, I'm proud of that fact in myself, because I think it's easy to fall into routines, and I kind of expected that to happen, and it doesn't seem to be at the moment, and I'm kind of proud of it. By the way, I'm so glad that we had that calendar check-in, because that's probably going to inform you going forward. You're going to be like, why are all these people stuck in the past? Why is everybody talking about last year? Hi.
Hi, I'm Shai, your fan. Thanks for all your charity work. The world needs more people like you. I'm curious, if you had all of Castiel's powers in real life in this universe, what would you do to change the world for the better?
The first thing that popped into my head is something that might get me in trouble when I cross the border. I don't know that Castiel did a bit of time traveling in his heyday, and I think he can get a lot done with that. Just a little bit of tinkering in the margins, going back in time, could fix a lot of things. But Cass also just had an ethos that I think if he could figure out how to convey it to the world would be a better place, and that was always do your best and always try to do the right thing, and that was, I think, the guiding light that carried him through the show. He was always trying to do the right thing, even when he was making pretty catastrophic mistakes that almost ended the world. He was trying to do the right thing, and he was always doing his best, and he never gave up. And I think that all of those things are, if he could figure out how to impart that on the rest of us, the world would be a lot better of a place.
My name is Elise. I'm here on my honeymoon. I'm from Vancouver Island, and my question for you.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Wow. How? Where did you get married?
We got married where we're from in Port Alberni.
Oh, what a beautiful place.
It is. It really is.
Yes, of course I've been to Port.
You should come back sometime.
Okay, that sounds lovely.
My question for you was, if you were a planet, which planet would you be, and why would you pick that planet?
Pluto. Because I have been struggling to define myself for all of my existence. Yeah, and Pluto is sort of like the underdog. Like, all the other planets have always been like, you're not really a planet. And they kind of shame Pluto and try to ostracize Pluto, but then every once in a while it's like, oh no, like, oh, actually you are a planet, come back in, and there's that like tension and interesting. And Pluto, I think, has because of that experience, has a striking independence that the other planets lack. Like, they're basically just a part of a gang, if you think about it. And none of them actually have distinct or interesting personalities. Like, Pluto is the one who stands out, partly because we can't really even hardly see it.
That's a beautiful answer. I was gonna say Uranus for myself, but your answer was much more.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that thoughtful question. Hi. There's nobody left on that side of the room. They all gave up. Hi. How are you?
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I'm also here on my honeymoon.
You're also here on your honeymoon?
Yeah, that was my wife.
I was like, that is quite a coincidence.
My question was, if you could replace any member of the cast of Supernatural with Danny DeVito, who would it be?
Wait, if I could replace them with Danny DeVito?
Yeah, any member of the cast of Supernatural.
Finally, a good question. I was worried we'd end on something silly.
I don't know, so, I don't know, I guess you're asking that question because you know a little bit of the behind the scenes Danny DeVito thing?
I do not.
Oh, well, originally when they were getting Supernatural off the ground, there was basically a bidding war for Danny DeVito between It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Supernatural, and they wanted Danny DeVito for the Sam role. But Always Sunny got him, and then, unfortunately they had to go with what they considered the closest facsimile.
Yeah, they were like, what if instead of Sam being super short, he's like
a shaved Bigfoot.
He's a Bigfoot, yeah.
That's not how Kripke saw the role, so that had to be tough to adapt to.
Yeah.
He saw it as more of a DeVito-esque sort of.
Right. The original script, if you see it, it's like...
It's an introduced Sam, a son older than the father.
emerges knee-high to his brother. That's what it says.
But they adapted. That's just goes to show you gotta be able to pivot. Misha, how's it to revisit Vancouver? You haven't been up there.
It's been great. I got in quite late last night, but I had a little bit of time this morning to go for a jog on the seawall, and just feels like just driving in and flying into Vancouver. It's like, God, how many times do we fly into this city over the years?
Yeah.
I asked that question out loud, and I didn't get an answer.
4. That's the answer. No, it's awesome. I mean, I feel that way, and I was here a fraction of the number of times you were. It's got to be kind of cool to revisit it all.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of life up here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
where were you, by the way, for the introduction?
I was back there. I just wasn't feeling it, man. Honestly, I was backstage, and they're like, it's time to introduce Misha. And I'm like, I know. But dude, I could not muster the strength. Because, look, I mean, like, you're a decent dude. Like, I gotta really arrive for the intros. And I'm like,
what have you got to say?
Yeah, this is just like,
what are you gonna say? My name? Like, that's about all you
But if I say it, they're gonna know, like, they don't get along. Whatever, it's just gonna, like, right now,
it's a weird vibe,
right now, I'm too paying the shit out of this. Like, they think, this is working. I'm covered up. But,
is he saying that because of your hairpiece?
It's like, he could thought of any metaphor.
Good point. Well, I mentioned your merkin this morning and you got all offended, so now I don't know what to say.
It's like, now I'm hairpiecing it.
No, I know, I would have, but I was...
But you missed it. You dropped the ball.
Taking a tinkle.
You missed it, you took a tinkle.
14-minute tinkle. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of 14-minute tinkles, that's all the time you get with Misha Collins right there. Thank you,